will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Yes, we're back on the bus. Roger, can you hear me? Roger, can you hear me? I have no idea what happened the last time. I'm blaming the microphone, Jonathan. Genuinely, I've done the exact same thing. I've done the exact same thing.
We have to renovate the bus in the depot, but we're ready to go.
Oh, fuck knows what happened, man. I don't know what happened. But anyway, the thing was, I was thinking that, you know, when I was cancelling the show at one point there, I was thinking, did I delay it by 3 weeks? Or, you know, I don't want anyone getting upset about that, you know. But I thought I'll keep podcast integrity in order and we'll keep the show. We'll just bring it back. You know, I'll try one more time. I didn't want Alan McGregor phoning me. Right. Anyway,
we don't need the bus going into lockdown.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, I fucking love all that shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm back, and I know I'm probably loud. It's fucking mental now, man. I can't believe the microphone just totally dinging me a minute ago. What we've done tonight, Christmas Day, first and foremost. Merry Christmas, Jonathan. Merry Christmas, my brother.
Good Merry Christmas, my man.
Anyway, everyone watching, a very Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for jumping on board. There's 32 people watching right now. I would say, if you're getting the number 45, Labarty, Glasgow, or whatever it is, the X24, it's a pretty busy bus. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm delighted that you're all with us. I know the odds, you know, comments going to come in, you're too drunk, you know, or all this shite. I've eaten more than I've drank today. Trust me, sometimes microphones just don't go the way you want. But we'll leave that narrative out of it, if that's all good with you. Have I had a drink? Absolutely. But I know how a microphone, a USB cable works, you know what I mean? Sometimes technology just goes against you. The comment I've got up right now is from a man called Johnson R. He's been my best pal since I was 2-3 years old. Yes, he supports the team for the other city, but he's a great friend, and I'm so happy that he's even tuned in for 30 seconds just to watch. Always supportive. John Russell, you are the man. Right, everyone's getting on. On comes Monty. Merry Christmas, you rebellious rebels. Absolutely. Just press the mute button. Douglas, on who? Paul McFarlane, what a guy. Merry Christmas, Bhoycie, Johnny, and the boys on the bus. You know it, mate. You absolutely know it. The gallant pioneer wants to say Merry Christmas, Bhoycie, all the best for 2022, buddy. I just want to say it back. That's all I do. Absolutely. Jerry wants a shout out to himself. Jerry Gracie and the other patients at the hospice. It's a wee night shift for Jerry, but he's thinking of his patients while he's at his work. Jerry, it's an absolute honour and privilege to bring up this comment. Well done, you and the hard work. And to every patient in there, fucking best wishes. And I don't know, you wish you could do more sometimes than just, you know, I hope just thoughts and prayers with them all, mate. Basically, I don't want to sound cliche, but what else can you say? I mean, Jerry, thanks for watching and keep up the brilliant work that you're doing, obviously, at the hospice, mate. Bruce FM, he's wobblier than a jelly on a plate. Good. Well, you're not the only one. The focus is blurry. I don't know, mate. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe the eyesight. This time of day on Christmas Day.
I fucked the market. It's you blitted, mate. Donald, the only bus running the night, and it's only just. It's true. It's true. Douglas Hughes is in. It's Merry Christmas, boys. Fantastic to see the brothers together. Jonathan Boyce, my favourite person in the world. It's brilliant. And Monty. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. We'll do this on the Champman stream. My brother seems to have disconnected. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But you're right. Those two players will do us a turn on the Championship Manager stream. It'll just be a case of trying to sign them. I thought you were going to ask me for their date of birth. I was doing a wee game last night, Jonathan. And it was funny because I was basically smashing out years of births of players within 5 seconds.
Oh, you
I
good
think
at
Bonnie in particular was quite impressed. So all good. Lyle Fraser, Merry Christmas, lads. Flew home from Australia to see the family for Christmas. Lovely touch. Caught COVID and he's isolating. You couldn't write it onwards and upwards. No, Lyle, get well soon. That's so frustrating, eh? Sod's law, but brilliant. Oh, look at Monty. Oh, Monty, mate. Don't ever.
He's having none of this off your memory.
And you've been there, Jonathan. You've seen it in live.
Monty, I used to be in the car with him and he used to just reel them off to me. Ridiculous, mate.
If I was bullshitting, Jonathan, you would call it out. Agreed?
I certainly would.
Do
We
you know
used to
what I
listen
mean?
to Clyde One. That was his favourite thing to do. Just be like, oh, you on Melby's date of birth? He just fire out. I didn't care. I'm trying to listen to George Bowie in the morning.
Honestly, do you want me to do some myself before? Right, no one can even ask me. Steve Finnan, 1976. What about that for just a random one? Terry Robb, he watched last night's show today. Thank you, Terry. And he says those dates of birth were totally amazing. Mate, they are amazing. Monty's not having it, but Monty, the only way around this is you're going to need to come on live, mate. You can be the guest. Jake Monty could do double doon, Jonathan.
Monty could do double doon.
Why don't we get Monty on for double doon? People in the group chat, give me a hell yeah if you want Monty to do double doon. He's trying again. JJ Okocha. JJ Okocha was born in 1973, Jonathan.
He's very good at this one. It's a tough one to win at.
I don't know what Googly thinks I'm on. But if Monty wants to come on, he's welcome on. Right?
Absolutely.
I would
Absolutely.
Like
They're all welcome,
anyway,
yeah.
You know it. So, we're saying Merry Christmas from all of us on the Bhoycie bus. What that means is, I feel like I'm echoing a wee bit. But the Bhoycie bus is slightly expanded. Can you still hear me okay, yeah?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, basically today, we made a wee decision, the brothers' boys, to expand slightly. And that means that I'm buzzing to say my younger brother there, Jonathan, what a friend of mine as well, not just my brother, a great friend, as good as you get. is going to come on and he's going to do the Monday Club. So the Monday Club is now going to be not just me, but Jonathan as well. And I think that might be quite healthy for managing the comments and all that stuff, and keep it as open a platform and maybe balance the debate a wee bit as well. So thank you for accepting the invitation, Jonathan, because that means the world to us. And I'm sure everyone will agree in the comments that Jonathan Bhoycie is a welcome addition to the Bhoycie bus.
It's good to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a
Good luck.
draw 2022. Mondays have about to hit a new peak.
Yes, mate. Yes. Glasgow CSC. Yes, Bhoycie. It's just such a good. Yes, it's such a positive word. Nobody uses it. So simple. So simple. Shall we talk, though? It's been 10 minutes. Shall we dare talk some Celtic?
Oh, let's. As long as we're not going to talk about St Mirren, because I feel like we've done enough of that midweek. I don't feel we need any more of that rubbish.
I know, mate. It's Christmas Day. So I kind of agree with you. Wednesday's result, we all vented, right? We've all overanalyzed it. And you try and critically analyse at the time where you've not really, the dust hasn't settled. You're doing reaction pods and you're maybe overly harsh. You're maybe overly critical. And once you debate it all out, why don't we just put it all to bed? Right? At the end of the day, if we could, forget our last result was a shitty one, right? And just say, Ange, can you get us within 6 points with a home match after the winter break against them? 6 points off. 3 more games to play against them. 2 at home. We could take that, I think. And a full transfer window to navigate. I don't think it's as bad as maybe I felt it was at the time, if I'm honest. I need to take it on the chin sometimes, Jonathan, and I'm very critical when we get beat because I just high standards and it's just who I am, right? I don't really give a I'm not going to apologise for it, in fact. I've maybe, though, dampened down my opinion from Wednesday. How you now feeling with the clear light of day in front of you, knowing it's one game, Jonathan, and then a 3-week break, knowing what the gap is, knowing what's at stake, knowing that if we win at the very least, we will be 6 points behind Rangers come, I think it's the 2nd of February we're due to play them now. How do you feel about that? Are you still confident this league title could be in our grasp?
Yeah, no, I think there's a very, very real possibility Celtic can still win the league. Listen, points were going to get dropped along the way. A lot of people thought St Mirren away from home midweek, it was going to be a straightforward game. But it was right after a cup final. We just won that. There was always going to be a bit of a hangover effect to that. You don't have Kyogo playing in that game. You've no recognised striker in the squad, let alone in the first 11. So you're always going to be up against it. I know St Mirren had problems of their own, but they did put out pretty much a first team 11 that wasn't actually affected too much by call-offs. I think a lot of people thought they were going to be putting in a lot of the younger boys, but that never really happened. We should still be winning the game, granted, but
yes.
I still look at it and think, you know what, 6 points. I still think that league's there to be won. If I'm honest, I'm not overly concerned about drop points against St Mirren, provided it's not a snowball effect and it doesn't happen at the weekend again, which I'm sure we're about to touch on.
Well, this is it. There's going to be 2 sides to that as well. You've just said a lot of positive comments, and I think, firstly, it's the narrative that's easy to go to. I don't mean you on that. I just think it's comforting for fans to go to that, and I want to believe the majority of my sort of thoughts and my heart go along with what you're saying there. But the other flip side is we aren't in a better position league points wise than we were last year. We dropped more last year. We won more points by this time last year. It's a sad fact. The thing is, you're watching a bigger picture because you're thinking, well, whilst Lennon was winning more points, we knew the points total was probably down on the year before that. And you also knew the team, fans, manager bond was all being fucked. It was all getting wrecked. It was on a complete negative trajectory. Whereas now, whilst Ange might not have won as many points, I know it's clever though for people to compare the points totals here and there. That's fine. But the actual, if you look a wee bit deeper, is Ange Postecoglou's built a harmony between fans, you know, the team, and I was going to say his management team. He doesn't even have one. And I think there's a big, big difference from what we're seeing right now. But again, I also don't want to get to the stage where if we drop points tomorrow, for example, we hear the same old big picture excuses. Fuck that. It's a 5 months to accept the squad he's got. 5 months to realise the league's just shite at times. And just different. Shall we say different? Is different a better word than shite? Yeah. Let's call it different. You have to adapt. You have to change. Plan B can't always be plan A over again. But whilst I say that, I am also aware that the big man is uniting a fan base that desperately needed United again. And it's Christmas Day. So we've got to be looking at the positive aspects. My man. Jonathan, what do you make of that?
Well, yeah, I would totally agree with you. And just certainly bringing the fan base together. I mean, the more attuned viewers might have realised we are both
Ryan Kelly.
Oh, Ryan Kelly. Oh, wow. Yes, the more attuned viewers might have realised, though, we are both wearing Ange jumpers this evening. So there is no doubt about it. There is definitely unity amongst the fans more than ever. When you mentioned, obviously, Neil Lennon's record last season and the fact he picked up more points than what Ange has done thus far this season, I would turn around and flip that as well and say you can make a lot of different arguments based off statistics. Neil Lennon's statistics, I believe his win percentage was actually better than Brendan Rodgers up until last season. Yep. Neil Lennon, in terms of actually winning games at Celtic until last season, was one of the highest. I think Willie Martin O'Neill possibly had higher than him, maybe Gordon Strachan. So it does all have to get put into context. That does not mean I think Neil Lennon's a better manager than Brendan Rodgers or anything like that. But you can see Ange is building something at Celtic. And I think he's not really been helped by the fact he's not got the squad depth. The board probably didn't give him as much backing as he probably needed in the summer. But you look at it now and you're looking at who he's got actually on his bench and who he can actually go to. And I remember even looking at the League Cup final, you're looking at Kyogo up front, and obviously 2 Moments Magic won that game. But if you were to look at the bench in that, if it wasn't going our way, and if it had stayed 1-0 to Hibs for a long time, there wasn't a lot there, Russell, you could really turn to and think, that's a game-changing substitution he could bring on.
Yep.
And it was the same against St Mirren. You could tell it was going to be one of those games where there was chances, particularly down the right-hand side. Ralston was creating chances. Juranovic, I thought when he came on, was looking bright on that side. There was some decent balls coming over, but there was no predator instinct in the box to capitalise on any of that. And that's where I think it all fell down a little bit for Celtic. And January is crucial. If Celtic were to bring in the right personnel in January, they will win this league. That's my gut feeling.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Jonathan, that sort of optimism is what Christmas Day is all about. Monty comes in, and I think he's agreeing with you here. If Kyogo doesn't play the final, Hibs win it. Fucking right, mate. Kyogo plays on Wednesday. Celtic win it. The gap's 4 points. It's end of the day. I think Ange did prioritise the trophy first and foremost. He's thinking, get your name out there, get the
right thing to do.
Get the fans on side. What were you saying?
Sorry, I think I think that was the right thing to do, was for him to prioritise the cup final and make sure he won that. I think if you're looking at the two games, would you rather, if you were going to end up not winning one, would you rather have not won the cup final or not won against St Mirren? I think most fans would probably have said they'd rather win the cup final, because it gives you that impetus going into the second half of the season. Listen, 2 points dropped against St Mirren is far from ideal, but you're looking at it over the course of the season. There is no way there isn't going to be a lot more points dropped between both Celtic and Rangers between now and the end of the season. Plus, you add in the fact you've got to play them 3 more times, and all 3 of those fixtures still to come. Celtic will have had the chance, an opportunity to have strengthened over the next month. Then you've got to be thinking, we will be in a much better position in 4 or 5 weeks' time than we are now. I mean, you've got to think that.
We do. But the good thing about the bus is we've always tried to encourage people, if they don't support Celtic and they're watching and they're slightly enjoying the comment, whilst I appreciate their contributions, such as Gallant Pioneers, I also hope they hit the subscribe button. It does help me a wee bit. And I want the debate to be balanced. Now, Gallant Pioneer is a great point now here, Jonathan. They don't lose. They've lost 1 game in 58 league games. Dropping points, I don't want to overanalyze Wednesday again in isolation, but just over the piece of the season, how many more of those can we really realistically afford between now and the end of the season? Starting tomorrow, I think 1, maybe 2, if you're lucky. I appreciate what you're saying. There's going to be many dropped points as the season goes, but right now they ain't dropping as many as us. It's just a sad truth. And I get Monty's coming in saying no Huns. I mean, if each to their own, Monty. If anyone's studs high on here, they'll be removed. I had a message from a guy called Baza on Twitter. Never met the guy in my life. His Twitter avatar is the Rangers crest, but steeped in orange. And yet he wanted to message me saying, "A Merry Christmas to you, all the best to your family, mate. Watch the show." I'm loath to try and think it needs to be that way, that we can't embrace a wee bit of balanced debate. I don't want it to go anything I see studs up though, Monty. I'll be the first one in going, either studs high myself or blocking them at the very least. I meant to block them as long as I don't say anything silly. But Jonathan, what do you think from what I'm saying there? Are we expecting the opposition to not improve at all from January either? Whilst we're all putting our hopes on January, won't a team that's only lost 1 in 58 league games, will they not improve too?
Well, there is the possibility they could improve. Obviously, we can only take care of our own business. But if you're looking across the city, then I don't think there will be much strengthening going on at Ibrox in January, given their financial position, unless they were to sell somebody, of course, and then they may well look to bring somebody in to replace them. Yep. So I don't think in terms of squad strengthening, I don't think much will happen their side of the city over January. But you're right, they haven't lost a lot of games at all, and that is something we can't just dismiss and be like, well, they're a non-entity if we win our games. You of course have to be thinking about that, but they're difficult places they've still got to go. I mean, this season they've still not came to Celtic Park, and they've not went to Pittodrie, which they were due to go to in the next week. It's hard to say, but I would be loath to turn around and saying, yes, you want to be relying on other teams dropping points, because obviously you can only take care of your own business. Celtic win their games till the end of the season, didn't drop a point, and they'd win the league. It's as simple as that. They don't need favours from anybody else.
Of course, so that's true.
It's one of those ones where you can only focus on yourself, and until you get to a position where you are needing results from other teams, that's the only time you should ever really be looking for that. And to be honest, when you end up in that sort of position, you can't really have any complaints if you don't win the league when you're relying on favours from others. That's my thoughts on it.
I think that's absolutely fair. I think it's absolutely fair. I think as well, one thing I don't want it to do is anything getting taken for granted. I don't want Ange having one successful signing from the J League, one out of one, so you could say 100% record, or you could say it's only one example. Make your mind up on that. That's fine. But what I don't want is them just to think they can get in 3 guys from the J League, expect the same trick to be repeated, Jonathan.
Yep.
And each one of them, all affordable, all very much in that. I would love to say mid-market. We're talking about fucking, you know, the lowest of the low in terms of transfer fees for a club striving to be in the Champions League. Like, and I just want the board to think, yes, he's identified those 3. Could we do more? Can we get more? Can we, get this squad to a level, 2 players each position at the very least? And I think you can go further than that. I want the 2 guys that are for each position to be pushing each other for the position, not just they can both play there. And I think right now people feel with Mikey Johnson, who I've defended at length for numerous reasons, Jonathan, not because I particularly think he's a brilliant player, but I've defended because I think he's become a whipping boy, unneeded. It's unneeded at times, unnecessarily, and it's just a whipping boy thing. But what I will say, Mikey Johnson and Jota are chalk and fucking cheese. Right? That's it.
There's no disputing that.
Right. So I can accept that. Whilst I try and defend Mikey Johnson, I know that realistically, I've got one left winger in the team that I think is Celtic class. I can win as a league. I've got another one who, despite my defending of him, is below par. I'm looking at right wing. I'm looking at James Forrest, injury prone, younger age. He's now 30 now. It's only going to get worse again. Not someone you can rely on for 50 starts a season anymore. As heir to the throne, the model was perfect. Leah Labada, bringing a 19, 20-year-old, a hungry guy who's £3.5 million. The most under 21 captors you'll player of all time. I'm sure that's a stat, unless I've just made that up because it's Christmas Day. Who knows? But I think that's the right balance between the 2. However, fans still don't seem happy with it. For me, that's a model. That is a model that works for me, Then you're looking right now. I feel, Jonathan, a midfield that shouldn't be as depleted as it seems. Liam Shaw was brought in to, very little fanfare, but also was brought in with a bit of a rep. He was brought in, the guy for Sheffield Wednesday, kind of the guy who got away, shall we say. Do you know what I mean? And I think when you add Sorrow this time last year was our replacement for Scott Brown. Celtic fans were done with Scott Brown by this time last year. I thought Sorrow was going to speed up our play and do the holding role. I was maybe guilty of a smidgen of that myself. Then you think about it, you've added the guy with 43, I keep saying 43 caps on this pod, I've made it up. Something like 43, right? Totally winging it. 43, something like that James McCarthy has for the Republic of Ireland. I think he has over 200 appearances in the EPL. Again, someone else fact check it. But these are your guys that came in to the midfield with Callum McGregor, a Hall of Famer basically. But when Celtic have, set up their museum or their Hall of Fame, and they will, Callum McGregor will stroll into it. He's
easily.
8 years in there. David Turnbull was our best player last year. Tom Rogic is playing in slippers. Technically, it sounds a bit strong. Beaton's probably having the best season of his Celtic career, certainly that I can remember. So it's going to be very difficult. When Ange brings in 3 players from the J League, I want them to add quality over quantity. And I also think there was a point made on the Chatman stream last night, Jonathan. And I want your thoughts on this because I think I wonder what, in fact, I'm not gonna try and bias it. Martin Boyle, is he a fit or is he not? Would he be a sensible, a realistic, and a positive impact on Celtic's first team squad if we were to go for him in January?
I would say I would imagine most would be underwhelmed if we were to make that move. I'm not entirely sure it fits. I would turn around and think he has done well with Hibs. It's one of those ones. Maybe we're a bit picky sometimes when it comes to picking up players from other clubs in Scotland, where we can end up being in a position where we turn around and be like, oh, they're not good enough just because they played for another team. But I'm just like, I wouldn't be overly enthused by that. I don't think it's really anything better than what we've got. Boyle, I would rather the money was spent on something else. But
just quickly to jump in, I'm saying the 3 J League players, say they are done and dusted, which I'm hearing they are. That's a joke. But no, let's say they're done and dusted.
Yep.
Then that money's spent. What else? What other areas are you looking at then, Jonathan?
I still think we might well need a striker. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure with the options we've got up front. There's enough there. Kyogo wasn't actually bought as a striker, although I think that's his best position. Granted, I think we've worked that one out between everyone.
Yeah.
I think, but he was brought in primarily to play off the left wing, which, as you say, could probably do with another body in there. For an example, when Jota does miss a game, so you've got somebody else to come in, because I would agree with you, whilst I like Mikey Johnson, he's probably not quite up to speed in terms of looking at somebody who's going to win you points in a difficult game. He had his chance against St Mirren away. I know he wasn't the only one who didn't play particularly well, but he did have his opportunity there to make a real statement when we were in the shit, and it never happened. So I would say, if you're looking for either a striker or if you're going to put Kyogo through the middle full time, which I think he should do, then you're probably looking at another left winger to come in there to support Jota. Whether or not the board will actually back those players, I still probably think as well you need a central midfielder. The more I think about it too, to be honest with you, I think McCarthy's going down the Shane Duffy route this season. If I'm being completely honest, I think McCarthy's not done a single thing that's really impressed me at all. So far, I think it's mind-boggling. He's been given us a 4-year deal, I think it was, which is crazy when you look at his injury record over the last few years. And there's nothing to suggest that James McCarthy is improving as a player. And you look at it just now, and he's pretty much having to go with the same guys in the centre of the park. I mean, I know you touched on Sorrow and how much people liked him last season.
But we did, though, Jonathan.
And
it wasn't like, just very quickly, it wasn't like we just liked him. This guy was getting rave reviews. He was linked at one point with Tottenham fucking Hotspur. Now, don't get me wrong, I think they're a diddy team, really, in a diddy league. But, I don't mean
plastic league.
Call it a plastic league, though, a soulless league. And Spurs are a fake big club. But albeit, if they're looking at you, they're coming in with millions of pounds, right, in terms of the whole package deal. Why would they be looking at something like Sorrow?
I'm going to flip it for a second, and I'll tell you what I think.
Did he just say flip it?
Yeah.
Cut the VT.
Cut the VT. Well, I'm going to flip it a little bit and tell you that obviously everyone knows Celtic were poor last season. It's pretty much, that's like the most ridiculous statement I've probably ever came out with.
Bitterly disappointed with that, Jonathan. I'm bitterly disappointed.
But yeah, I always think the reason people look back on Sorrow as being as good as he was is I think there was a lot of players that were just filling a jersey last season, and what you got from Sorrow was effort, and that sometimes I think got a little bit confused with ability when it came to Sorrow, purely because a lot of players were not pulling their weight at all. I know a lot of people have a different opinion on that. which is absolutely fine, and that's what it's all about.
But what if?
Personally, I think he's a headless chicken.
What if Sean Maloney signs him, and we all see him win man of the match in a Scottish Cup final? I'll say my heart was broken.
Your heart was broken.
My heart, sorrow.
Sorrow.
Ian, call the Bhoycie bus serious. I love you, mate. But we never take ourselves too seriously on the Bhoycie bus, don't you worry. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Anyway. I did last night. I was doing a bit of Craig David Ball Selector. Can I get a rewind? Anyway, we'll leave all that. I mean, see, if I really was to sing, I'd probably sound like Shane McGowan without even trying, Jonathan. You know what I mean?
Oh, you used to be in a band, did you not? Motley Crue, back in the day.
The Motley Crue.
You could dust out that white suit. You could still do one more song.
See, look,
Come
I mean, a little bit.
It's Christmas.
No.
Oh, we tried, guys.
I thought I had a drink in me. I was asked to sing a song. I sing a song, and you little fuckers want to give me jip for it. Jerry comes in with a very sensible point. Sorrow is just rotten. And
Jerry would get on well.
Sorrow, Ian just keeps sing. I'm saying, like,
get Ian on. You could do a karaoke version of the Bhoycie bus. He can join you. It could be a duet.
Philip DeMarco, the one thing I will say, I will never get married in my life just because. Oh, fuck knows. I don't actually know. Maybe I will. I've had enough birds to have fucking done it by now, though. Put it that way. Or girls, I should say. But if I ever was to get married, I would like to think they'd be of a similar state of mind. As me. Oh, you know the joke. I would generally, that would be my first answer, would be Rainy Night and Solo by the Pogues. World class. Absolutely world class song. I give up with the rest of this, man. Honestly, they're all fucking giving me jip, these bastards. Right, anyway, Christmas Day, I don't even get, like, you know, there's pricks on that Twitter like that. I don't know what he's called, Joe White or something. Got us about, well, Brad Pitt avatar. Just talking shite. Like, he says he's got 100 cats on Northern Ireland. Then he tells you he knows about Celtic's accounts, calls himself an MBE. Joe White, folk like that. And you bastards, my family, the passengers of the bus, can't even believe I've had a bird or that I can sing. Fucking
unbelievable.
These guys are ruthless, by the way. Right, St Johnstone, 3 points. Just you discuss it, mate. Let's go.
Well, it's a must-win tomorrow, I think. I know it's cliche. I know every game's a must-win, but I think some are more important than others. Be interesting to see what the effect of the smaller number of fans has on the game, because I would turn in and say last season I think the fans were an impact, albeit I think Celtic were on a car crash sort of season anyway.
Bitterly disappointed.
Thank you, Glasgow CSC.
Bitterly
thank you very much for that comment. But it's one of those ones you're looking at tomorrow. 500 fans, a load of nonsense, as to quote Roy Keane, nonsense, as you would say, Russell.
Could you just quickly, Jonathan, can you not see comments on Twitter, mate? I don't know why, but no. We only seem to get the YouTube comments. I've got fucking no idea why. I've tried
I've
tonight,
no idea what's going on there.
Because it's Christmas. Because I wanted to go on Twitter and Facebook as a one-off. Because normally I only go on YouTube, Kyogo. But tonight I thought, right, fucking who cares about all that shite? Like, direct the traffic. It's Christmas, for fuck's sake. We'll go on all the platforms that we possibly can. But for whatever reason, I only get YouTube comments on StreamYard. I don't get it because, as I alluded to the other day and got the piss ripped out before by some Rangers site, genuinely, it does cost you money to run these things, Jonathan. You pay to try and broadcast it. And I would have liked to have thought, that the comments from the other sites are coming through, but do you know what? Now I'm looking through them, they're all YouTube, so apologies, Kyogo. It's not deliberate. Jonathan, let's get back to St Johnstone.
Yeah, St Johnstone. So really, I guess the crux of it, and it'll be interesting to hear what you've got to think on this as well, is the fact that crowds are reduced back to 500. We know the fans last season were an impact on Celtic's performances. I would turn around and say, obviously, there was other things at play. Clearly, there was other things at play as you looked on with it. Celtic need to win the game tomorrow. Russell, do you think the fans not being allowed in the ground will have an adverse effect on the team tomorrow?
Right, Jonathan, see, for a start, I'll ask the questions, right? But secondly, a joke. No, you're absolutely, I think it's a great point. I mean, me and Stephen Tomlinson from Endless Celts were discussing it. Why this time are we convinced Celtic will handle such a lockdown better than what they had before? It feels like they will. I mean, naturally, I'm inclined to think Celtic will handle it all better. Give me a shred of evidence why. I don't have any. I just think there's a love in with Ange. And a love in with the team. I'm part of that, by the way. Check the jumper. Hey, anyone
you
who
got
thought
the bus going down to Perth tomorrow?
Anyone who thought I was overcritical of Ange, I do this every now and then. You know? I wear his wee crest, you know? So, but I think that, you know, if we are to end up in a situation where it's behind closed doors when we come back from the winter break, I've got serious concerns. Serious concerns. I think Celtic have thrived in the hot atmosphere of the fans. I'll go back to, it always ties in, everything always ties in, Jonathan. We spoke at the start of the show about the buy-in between the supporters and the manager, how important that has been, and that was non-existent last year. Whilst the board is still, it's not even a work in progress, that still seems a million miles away. The amazing thing Postecoglou did, on his own, not with these merry men like fucking Eddie Howe, he came in on his own and united everyone. What I would wonder is, you take out that factor and you leave Ange on his own, like proper solitude, not got 60,000 people willing him on home games and an away stand or multiple away stands full. I think it will impact the team again. And in fact, if we are to go past the winter break with stadiums closed, for example, and no supporters, I think Celtic's opportunities, or not their opportunities will always be there, but their actual chances or estimations from my perspective of winning the league diminish massively. And I hate saying that. It's Christmas Day. Don't ask me such difficult fucking questions, Jonathan.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I should have laid that one out beforehand so you knew it was coming. You're gonna have time to prepare your answer accordingly.
Here comes Monty. I don't know what Monty's singing. I've got a feeling though. It's do 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 do.
Oh,
I'm probably not. You got.
We know what you mean, Monty. We know what you mean. I'm only joking.
He's singing our theme song, no?
Surely.
Right. Anything else, Jonathan, before we go?
No, I would just like to wish everyone that's tuned in obviously a great Christmas, brilliant New Year if I'm not on beforehand. So, and then we'll no doubt see each other in the New Year. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Hopefully Celtic will be back on top in the not foreseeable future. But no, all the best to everyone that's tuned in, and thanks so much for coming along. And
Jonathan, you are going to confirm. We'll do a wee sign. I've got the shirt already, by the way. I'm not lying. We've actually got the shirt sorted. We'll do a wee photo with Jonathan signing up for the Bhoycie Bars Monday Club, new edition, and it's from within. And guess what? See if I make one dink out it. The boy will be paid. There'll be no bullshit. No 0 pence contracts. No self-righteous schedules getting sent out. It'll be me, my brother's voice, if you will, delivering it like it should be. And hopefully that's what everyone has enjoyed about the Bhoycie Bus so far. We will be back, though. Guess what? I have lost the plot. I'm coming back tomorrow.
Well, you are. You are coming back tomorrow.
I'm coming back on tomorrow for the post-match. And do you know why I'm doing it? I am doing it because we're going to win. And I'm going to say 3-0 Celtic tomorrow. The biggest upbeat feeling we could have before this very correctly brought forward winter break. 3-0 the Celtic, and we go again. Everyone who's came in, this has been a fucking delight to have so many folk watching on Christmas Day. I just thought it's good to give a wee bit back. And I know, but I know, this is mad, that even by tomorrow, we'll complete 3 full weeks of the Bhoycie Bus, Jonathan, believe it or not.
3 full weeks.
Tomorrow, we've completed 3
We're going to need to refuel this bus. I must be running low on fuel. We'll fill you up tomorrow in the pub.
The difference is together we're all making something happen right now that I think even the hardcore viewers are now a wee bit in shock at, and now they're kind of getting a bit fucking let's do this, Bhoycie. And I'm like, do you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Who wants to go toe to toe?
Let's see how far this bus can run. I think it could run quite far.
Just because any of them say something doesn't mean it's true. Always remember that. The Bhoycie Bus, the place of truth, the real bus, real reviews, real truth, real making an arse of myself. And I own every one of them. I own it when I'm negative. I'll own it when I'm positive and be a bit giddy and make a cunt of myself. And I'll own it when I'm in an arse, I tip myself. Do you know what I mean? In general, because I'm prone to do that as well. However, that's why we come to the Bhoycie Bus, because no one gives a fuck. And do you know what, CSC? I feel like the people's champion right here, because if I met you in the street, I would never walk by. If I knew what you looked like, Glasgow CSC, I would be the one stopping you, shaking your paw, saying Merry Christmas. That is what I love. This has been the best fun ever. Now, tomorrow, big game. I'll be back behind the wheel, steering what should be, after my 3-0 prediction, a smooth journey home on the Bhoycie Bus home. But you know, now I've probably done that, it could be a rocky road home. Fingers crossed it's not. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Bhoycie Bus. Jonathan, thank you so much for your contribution. We cannot wait now to do the Monday Club with you every week. But from me, Jonathan, it's a Merry Christmas, a good night. Thank you for watching. God bless.